no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bed until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I could never switch, not a day in my life. Lost my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I could never switch, not a day in my life. Lost my dogs.
I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They're led out by their strong-arm quarterback out of Texas A&M, and that's Ryan Tannehill.
And many believe that Ryan Tannehill is ready to fulfill his promise. Been in the league a little while now, been through some ups and downs, some bumps and bruises, but the talent is evident. Can run it, can throw it, and I think now he's ready to be a great leader.
Ready to break. Mike 34, Mike 34. Hit. Watch the twist, watch the twist.
Tannehill on first down. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. Of course, remember last week, week number 1, quite the opener for him. NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he does not want to be a flash in the pan. He wants to have that type of a game each and every week. Let's see if he can get a second award in week 2 of the season.
Now a first down run is sniffed out from the start as they'll drop him for a loss of 4. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Now Joe Mixon. A sizable gain there, 9 yards as they get it back to a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
90, Wolf. Ready?
From the red zone now, Tannehill. This one complete to the tight end, O'Shaughnessy. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. And now the offensive starters for the Packers.
And the big key is going to be how can these wideouts create separation from the defensive backs? Because we've seen some early success in the passing game in this one, and that's going to need to continue.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Check 50.
They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. Defensively, let's go ahead and meet the starting 11 for Minnesota. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
And when people talk about facing a challenge, they are certainly getting one in this ball game because they're facing the #1 rushing unit in the NFL, which means it's going to be a contest they've got to be prepared for from the first snap.
From the gun on third down, Tannehill. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And he will not be able to get the first as he can get this only down to the 5. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
After the field goal, here's Gonzalez to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top? He's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. And the offensive starter, Vikings.
Out wide, they have A.J. Green, who can run every route you want on the route tree and take the top off of defense with his speed and has the length to go over the top of people to catch the ball. But maybe the most impressive thing about him, the only wide receiver ever to be a Pro Bowler in his first 7 years in the NFL.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football.
Jones. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
70, Indy. Here we go. Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
He'll look to throw. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the first down, and I'm going cliche here, game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. Third down conversion here is big. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run it with Jones. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Ready? 15, line it. 15 line. Shoot!
They'll look to throw here on first down. And this one caught by Beasley. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Get it.
2nd and 4. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago. Really, it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, it all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They'll set up a throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Ready?
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
Sack, baby.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean,
64.
oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Check 37. Check 37.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score Packers 3, Vikings 0.
Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Packers pick it up. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
So here are the Packers now to take over. They were winners a week ago over the Bears, and they lead things here as well as they start this drive with a 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, Tannehill. Open man is Kroon, the tight end. And down inside the 15 he goes. You call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
On the ready.
Tannehill on the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. This is Mixon on the draw. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Defense simply not fooled by the draw there.
Well, they were thinking run to begin with, and what they tell their defensive linemen is play the run on your way to the quarterback. If someone shows, go get him, and that's exactly what they did.
Hey,
second down. Here's Mixon. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Now Tannehill to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
Yeah, and on third down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. And the kick by Gonzalez is good. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
On second down, it's Jones. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On third down, he'll drop to throw. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 12 yards there, first down Vikings.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
Now a first down carry by Jones. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They'll set up to throw. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
From the 41, Tannehill. Open man is Kirk, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 13 yards, first down, Packers.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Let's go, defense.
On the delay, it's Mixon. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. Now it's Tannehill. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
He made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
Tannehill now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 11 yards there, just like last play. 3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point. So they'll be. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Joe Mixon, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be stopped just shy of the 25 with a penalty marker down. Here's the call.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. They'll drop the throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Allen, the intended receiver. 2nd interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Come on, fellas.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. On first down, it's Tannehill. Completes it to Hardman. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. To the air again, Tannehill. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line.
To Christian Kirk. A gain of 7. First down, Green Bay.
Tannehill now, 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Christian Kirk as the first half is winding down. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Gonzalez good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A drive that time of 6 plays. And the result, a Green Bay score. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Time here for likely 1 play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently, we're going to get right back to it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Here's the Packer defense getting set to go again. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained. maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. He'll look to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The sack by big number 98, Linval Joseph.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
It was Joe Hayden, the former Pro Bowler, that came up to get him down.
50 plant. Let's make these babies cry all the way back.
Again, it's Mixon, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
A good pickup there, 21 yards. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in the bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
You see me? You see me?
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
He'll drop to throw. And that's caught by Beasley. And he takes it down deep into Green. A big play there for Minnesota. And even 40 yards.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Now looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval. It's a welcome sign of life that this offense needed. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. One back in the game. That's Jones, 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and goal. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Here's Jones. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
This defense continues to be good on 3rd down. I mean, they haven't allowed a touchdown. Offensively, are you saying, let's go for this, let's try to get it in the end zone?
I don't know about that because of what you just described. They've been so good, and they don't give up the big play that you would expect in downs 1 through 3. Why should 4th down be any different? True. You might want to go ahead and kick the field goal and see if you can figure out something else as this game moves on.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field.
And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
To throw again on 2nd down. Tannehill got his man there complete to Gallup. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, a give to Mixon. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From the 41, Tannehill. And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
Let's go deep, tighten up. Let's go deep, tighten up.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 3 yards down. We have played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. From just shy of midfield, Tannehill. It's pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. The lightning rod, J.J. Watt with a sack. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
3rd and long, it's Tannehill. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. And look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up 1st downs and keeping the football.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It was Justin Houston, the native of Statesboro, Georgia, with a sack. And you hate to say it for the rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense? In
his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now back to throw. Finding Green complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Under pressure, and down he goes. Daniil Hunter picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. Brian Poole that time there to get a hand on it. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on fourth. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run with Mixon. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
You got it! You got it! You got it!
It's 3rd down.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, Tannehill. And able to find Kirk complete. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer 1st down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Tannehill. Open man is Kirk, complete. A gain of 6 there on first. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Ryan Tannehill. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message.
Touchdown, Vikings! Paul Richardson, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. Coaches must really like to see that from the quarterback because he's had the interceptions in this game, but they're able to connect on the touchdown pass.
And teammates love to see that because they know that they miss blocks during a game, but they come back and make them later on. They miss tackles, right? They miss making plays, but the spotlight is magnified on your quarterback. And when he stands up to the pressure and comes back and throws a touchdown pass after throwing some picks earlier, they feel great about that guy.
And likewise for him personally, as a rookie quarterback, has to give him more confidence.
Check nickel.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll try the jet sweep with Kirk. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And I know I'm not breaking any news when I say that any road win in this league is a good one.
No doubt.
But it's a double bonus when you get a victory on the road in your division.
And when you start a season, each team breaks down their schedule in different ways. Some do it every 4 games, right? Let's go quarterly. Others say, listen, we've got to take care of our home field. And, you know, out of a 16-game season, if you get 8 at home, let's at least win 7 at home and split our road games. That's what you're trying to get done. So you're exactly right. A road win